So recently, I've asked ChatGPT about what are all the different styles of parenting in all around the world and in India. And you would be surprised just how much terminology there is and how many types of parenting there are just listed.
Hey, mommies! We know you're tired and you're here for a reason.
We are two moms just looking to unwind after a long day. So come join our rants and let's make this journey a little less lonely, one episode at a time.
Welcome to our podcast, Mom vs. World.
I mean, we know two kinds, right? There is the one that's strict and there is the one that's not strict. So let's get into what all types of parenting there actually are today in the world. Apparently, there are so many different strategies. I guess now being mothers, we know that so many things can go wrong. There are so many branches in this style of parenting.
I think I am understanding what you're trying to say. It's not that simple now. It's not that black and white now. There are a lot of shades of parenting.
Yes. For example, apparently authoritative parenting is different from authoritarian parenting. Did you know that? I thought like those words were the same.
I know. I've seen this in some reel recently. Yeah, I was also like surprised. What are these? From what I understood from that reel is apparently authoritative parenting is something like the parents have really high expectations on the child. They try maintaining all the discipline. They encourage the child to be independent, but also they show a lot of love and warmth. Whereas authoritarian parenting is like that old fashioned, very strict parenting. Like there are rules to follow. Like I said so you have to do this. It's like that kind of parenting, and with a very minimal emotional bonding. They're mostly emotionally distant, very little involved in the child's emotional life. Yeah, that's what I understood.
I think that word authoritarian is that old word, right? Like you said, the system of it, the philosophy of it, so much difference between those, and one sounds a bit more balanced than the other, clearly. And the other kind, I think we know that is not in terms of authority, is that the very lenient parenting. Here, ChatGPT has given me these two. One is permissive parenting and another is neglectful, uninvolved parenting. So the word kind of defines what it is, right? Permissive parenting is there is a lot of warmth, there is not much discipline, there is not many rules, you indulge in a lot of pleasures and everything, very few boundaries. Apparently, that's permissive. But then I think take it up a notch, which is neglectful and uninvolved parenting. That is all this, but the parents are not involved in the child's life emotionally or in any other way, where they are just distant and silent and like families that barely speak to each other, mom and dad that don't speak to each other, or their children where children can't express themselves, that kind of
I
parenting.
think this parenting usually happens when either the parents are too busy to get involved in their child's life, or they just create a baby because out of some rule or something.
Yes.
And they are least bothered. But it's rare that we see such kind of parents, right? At least around us.
I think a lot of very old-fashioned people who very stick to the older generation's patriarchal values and all, those are the parents. Sometimes I also feel like they're not, I mean, they are usually authoritarian parents, but there's also this other side of that old-fashioned parents where they're just too afraid to talk. They don't understand feelings, they don't understand pleasure, they don't understand fun. Right, I think that those kind of parents can also be neglectful, but they're just in denial that they probably think they're just doing what they have to.
Possible, yeah.
But anyway, yeah.
What else did you get?
Now here's where the fun part starts. So back there are like 7 or 9 more.
What? 7 or 9? Really?
Yeah, and some of the words are really funny, I'll tell you. So the first one is gentle parenting, okay, which I think that term is very common
that
now.
is, yeah, everybody's trying to be a gentle parent now, but it's damn hard.
Yeah. true.
Yeah.
Discipline and respecting your child kind of don't go very well together.
Yeah.
It's like you have to discipline your child, you have to say no
And
to
I
them,
think
and
the most difficult part in gentle parenting is you have to be that person first.
yeah.
Forget about the parenting style. You have to change your
Yeah.
personality first.
Your kids drive you crazy, especially at a young age when they're toddlers and stuff.
Yeah.
How can you be a gentle person with someone like that?
So I think it becomes difficult because we have to change as a person first before even thinking about this style of parenting.
So there is another thing called positive parenting, which again I thought would be part of gentle parenting, but then so this is separate, which says this is all about focus on reinforcement, connection, encouragement over punishment. I mean, I personally am unable to see that much difference from positive parenting to gentle parenting. I guess this is just more in a direction of positivity and things like that rather than strategy, but more like blind positivity. That's what the description seems like to me. And I doubt there are many parents who are like that, right? Who just positive parent, because you cannot just be blindly positive with a child.
Yeah.
That's unreasonable. But apparently it's a thing, and some people do it.
I think it is more like you said, it focuses on that positive reinforcement. I've noticed some parents who give a gift for everything a child follows. You give them something if they do something, and they follow this in every aspect of parenting. You do this and you'll get this.
So encouragement over punishment, by that they mean you don't punish your child when they do something bad, but you reward them when they do something good. I mean, now that you put it that way, it kind of makes sense. But I can't imagine a world where you don't punish your children because they are out in the world trying to get
They're
themselves hurt, killed, whatnot. You have to stop them from doing that. How? Just that sounds like a fantasy, positive parenting.
Yeah, or you should be some kind of a monk or something.
Monks wouldn't be parents.
Yeah.
True. I guess that's where it falls apart. You can't be that and this. And then next on the list is attachment parenting. I think this is something
All
we
the parents
Indians
are
are very used to, like, or this is like emphasis on co-sleeping, breastfeeding, responsiveness, physical closeness, living under the same roof, joint families, etc. Things like that. I think these are more common in countries like India, China, etc. Dense countries. I think even in attachment parenting, you can be authoritative or
that's what I was about to think. I think
either way, right?
I think each parent follows at least 2 or 3 of these styles. Mix and match them.
That's true. Can't be just one directional, one dimensional.
Right.
Like you are human, and
I also think it changes with every age. As the child grows, like 1 to 2 years, you'll follow a different style of parenting. And once they are a toddler, you'll follow a different style. I think
I myself felt like in so many different phases. There was a time where I would think like, oh my God, I need the entire family, joint family. Like I need my kid to have everyone, and I want him to interact with everyone, and like I want so much help. But then I think there was a different phase where I thought the opposite. Like I just need everyone to get out of my hair. I just need to follow my own rules, own discipline, and it's okay if there's too many people involved. So I need to be on my own, more independent parenting. So I guess it depends on the phase that your child is in and the type of person you are as well.
Also I think for me, every day I get up and think that I should be a gentle parent, but by the afternoon I am like, no, I am an authoritative parent.
In a few months, but then afternoon. I totally understand that.
It keeps changing through a day, I guess.
Anyway, so the promised fun part is actually coming now. So there's this parenting called helicopter parenting.
Okay, this is the term I heard for the first time.
So apparently what helicopter parenting means is overly involved, controlling, micromanaging
Oh, like
your child's
being on the
experiences
top
every now and then.
all the time, being on the top
Yeah,
of the
being
child.
on your, like breathing on your
Over,
neck,
yeah,
yes, all
okay,
the
okay.
time. That's a weird name though, still. We could have found any other
Yeah.
name to describe that, but helicopter parent. Like, I would not guess that description if I've just been given that word.
True, true.
But yeah, I think this is also very common in India, right?
Yeah,
Like the-
yeah. Micromanaging children is like everywhere.
Yeah, especially mothers to sons in a lot of places. You turn out to be a mama's boy.
Yeah,
That
yeah.
happens a lot.
When we were children, I think most parents followed this approach.
Yeah, I mean, parents were too scared about letting their child get influenced by anything, basically.
Yeah. They were always over involved in our lives. They wanted to know
Yeah.
every detail, everything. Who are we talking to? Who are our friends?
Yeah.
And they want to meet our friends. Yeah, of course, even we want to meet our children's friends. But back then, I think the purpose was a bit different. They want to judge, analyze that friends, and
Yeah.
based on that, decide if you can be their friends or no. They would like give us
Yeah, they will
permission.
even tell you to not hang out with them.
Yeah. I remember our mom telling she used to just not even spend much time with them, just at one look. Maybe she saw that friend for a few minutes and she would tell, no, I don't get a good vibe from that person, that girl. So you just don't talk to that girl. That
In some cases, that could be true. In some cases, that could be
yeah,
like
actually
you're
sometimes that turned out to be right. Actually, she was right
because
about that girl.
Mothers are very intelligent.
Yeah,
and they can sense
Yeah,
people,
true.
like friends especially.
True.
Like what they're trying to, if they're taking advantage of your whatever
Yeah,
it may
yeah.
be. Again, there's a different way to tell your child, hey, I'm getting this vibe from her, and then there is it's one thing to say, no, you're not allowed to hang out with this
Yeah.
person anymore. So I think
Yeah.
that's what this kind of parenting is.
Yeah.
And that just, so if you say that for every aspect in their life, I guess that's what this becomes, right? You micromanage every little thing, what subjects you're supposed to be interested in, what you're supposed to study later in life.
Yeah.
Like everything basically. And even I know a lot of parents who tell their adult children what to wear every now and then if they have a party or get together or something. So
Yeah, that is helicopter parent.
we can safely say that this is not a balanced kind. This is an extreme kind of parenting,
Yeah.
which is not very healthy. The next in the list is free range parenting.
What, like free range
This
chicken?
reminds me of free range eggs.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Right.
What is that about?
I guess the definition is kind of very similar to a free range chicken. I'll read it out. Hold on. It's very funny. This entails independence, less supervision, encouraging self-reliance and problem solving. Basically leaving
let
the
the
chicken
children-
out in the farm.
Yeah. Let the children do their
eat
thing.
its own worms, like you're not controlling
What they're eating.
Yeah,
Yeah, I got it. I think the
that makes sense.
yeah, it explains everything.
But I think this is healthy parenting, but maybe not so safe.
A bit,
because
there is no like a little control and little discipline is important, is what I think. Yeah.
Yeah, because the aspects in life like safety, respect, etc., these have to be taught by force, right? You can't just tell your kids nicely, gently, like, hey, you have to treat people with respect. Hey, you have to like not go out with this random people you never met before, and things like that.
Yeah.
They have to be strict sometimes, and I think at least at a young age, if you teach them too much self-reliance and everything, I guess problem solving is a good thing, and independence, teaching them these things are great, but I think leaving them to learn self-reliance by themselves is a bit unsafe in my opinion.
Yeah, true.
But some aspects, yes. Oh, the next is really funny. It's called tiger parenting.
Okay. I'm assuming it's
So-
some strict, scary parent. Is that it?
Yes, as the word suggests. And apparently it's more popular in East Asia and everything.
Oh,
So it is strict and achievement oriented, high academic and discipline focus,
Oh.
etc. We know a lot of parents like these,
Oh,
right?
yeah, yeah.
And Southeast Asia, like India, everywhere.
totally.
That's very
It's common. Yeah.
Yeah, we had cousins who had parents like that, right? They would be like everything so strict. You
Yeah,
have to
they have to be the
excel
topper
at
of the
everything you
class
do.
every single
Yeah.
year. They have to excel
Yeah.
at that sport every time, and
Yeah.
everything has to be on point.
Yeah, I remember our cousin, which we are not going to name,
Yeah.
but her parents were exactly like this absolute tiger. Her mom was,
Got
and
it.
she would just get her to eat healthy. So obviously, kids are not, not that easy to feed healthy, right? And she would be so scary and forcefully. She would just shove things down her throat.
Yeah,
And, like,
she used to just gulp it
so
down. I
scary.
remember. Yeah.
Yeah.
We were scared of that particular aunt.
Our parents were a little bit like that, but I don't think they were all the way
No,
tiger.
if you compare
Right,
our
but-
parents with them, our parents are neglectful parents or something. I don't know. No. Our permissive parents, I guess.
Yeah, yeah. They would scold us when we got low grades. They would be mad at us if we did something stupid and all that. But I don't think they've ever forced it so much that the only way to exist is if you top.
Yeah, that was never
Yeah, it was never the case.
Yeah.
Thank God for that.
true.
But I think obviously this is also very extreme. Seems like it because I think if you force academic,
Yeah, that's a lot of pressure and a lot of stress to young.
this kind of parenting is responsible for a lot of suicides. I might be extreme here in saying something like that, but if you see like all the student suicides from colleges and all, it's not just the parents, it's the teachers who are also being like that, right?
Yeah.
Where academic excellence is like your ultimate life goal and
Yeah.
you have nothing else to think about.
Yeah.
So these are the kids who are pressured overly and they commit
Yeah.
suicide. We've seen so many, especially in
Yeah.
intermediate and all
True,
that in
true,
India.
true.
We've seen so many cases like that, and I think it stems from this style of
Yeah.
parenting and schooling, basically.
Yeah,
right?
yeah, true. That's really sad though, like putting
Yeah.
those young kids in under so much pressure.
So basically, the worst part about this style is that they deprive you of love, reward, any kind of reward, appreciation, anything, unless you step up to that level. And obviously, you're only human and you can't. Not every child can be a topper.
Yeah.
So if you feel like my parents will only love me if I do this, then that's the worst feeling to have. And I think parents underestimate that a lot. Parents don't give that value. They'll think that it's my child's responsibility to know that I love them.
Yeah, they are totally under that belief that all they're doing is for their child's benefit. The child is ultimately benefiting somewhere in the future, sometime, but they are not aware that they're depriving the child of their childhood, of their fun, or happy times. They're completely cutting them off from the actual
Friendships,
important things in life.
relationships,
Yeah.
love, everything,
Yeah.
basically. Even if some of these kids do make it in that academia aspect, I think when they grow up, when they get jobs and when they're working, I think most of these children grow up to be burnt out very easily, very quickly, because they don't know when to stop, because they've grown like that for 20 years, 30
Yeah.
years, and then
Yeah.
they don't know when to
guess.
stop, and they just like, I think they're very prone to getting more sick, like they don't know how to form attachments because they've not been taught that. And they tend to probably believe that I only deserve any kind of friendship, love, anything if I am at the best of my field or whatever it is.
Makes sense.
And I think that's a very bad thing to teach your kid.
Yeah, true.
All
What's
right.
next?
The next comes snowplow or bulldozer parenting.
Okay, what does
So
that mean?
apparently this means removing obstacles so children don't face failures or hardships. Oh, this makes sense. We know something like this,
Yeah.
right? Not from our own parents, but I think we've seen something like this, right? Where parents make sure they're provided with everything.
I think our parents also kind of followed this parenting technique a little. Like,
A little bit, maybe.
yeah,
Yeah.
because they literally took care of all the financial aspect of our education or whatever we asked for, right? Like whenever we wanted to do this or that, they made sure
Yeah.
that we didn't have a financial obstacle, at least in that aspect.
True.
I think.
And I think an extreme example of something like this would be where some parents would go behind the child's back and then remove some kind of obstacle which they think is an obstacle, right? Like
Oh,
going
like
to
that.
a bad friend's parent and telling them like, oh, don't hang out with my girl.
Cutting
don't
them
hang out
off
with-"
from their boyfriend because
Yeah,
they think he's
exactly.
toxic or
Things
something.
like that, I think.
Okay.
So I think that is that indirect thing. That's why it's called a like snow plow or bulldozer, because you're not letting your child go through that experience at all.
Okay.
You're just going ahead of them and then
Yeah.
plowing the snow ahead of them so that they can walk the straight path.
Got it. That
Yeah.
actually makes sense now.
Yeah, and they never fail, but then I think in a way they are failing to learn things in life.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I think it's actually quite common, right?
It
if you
is
think
actually,
about it.
especially in India again.
Yeah, in India. Yes.
Yeah, parents are
Like,
always ahead of the child, trying to
yeah,
make
especially parents who
way.
can provide like financially.
yeah.
Then they'll make sure everything is taken care of. They
Yeah.
don't, and this is so dangerous. An example for this would be that, you know, parents are just teaching their girl child to like, don't talk to boys, don't do this, don't hang out with them, and then cut them off from friends who seem dangerous or something like that. And then they turn out to not have any of that social emotional intelligence at all. And then eventually, like when they get in that situation, they do something extreme, like they'll probably run away with somebody, leave their family because they're too scared, or they'll marry the wrong person, or they don't know how to make choices because
they've never
had to
into
deal
that.
with any of that stuff.
True. Yeah, even maybe we can talk about parents who provide everything too much. I mean, even before you
Spoiled
asked for
children,
it.
right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
spoiled children.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
everything is
Yeah.
taken care of. They literally don't put their glass away, like they don't put their plate away. They're just sitting and the mom comes and serves them and then cleans
Yeah.
everything up, and no work is given to the child, and they are raised that way, and then at some point when they have to do everything on their
Yeah.
own, they
Seriously,
fail.
so many boys grow up to not learn, like they don't know how to make Maggie.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like they need a maid to clean up. I've heard some people at some point a long time ago, not now, but will be like, I don't know how to wash dishes. What's there to learn in that? It's not a skill you have to learn from like some professional. You clean you take a shower, you know how to clean yourself, you know how to clean dishes. You can't say that. But then there were guys I knew you would say like, I don't know how to do that. And they would say that with pride, like I never knew how to do that.
Yeah, that happens a lot in India, I think.
The last one here is conscious parenting, which sounds very promising. Let's see what that's about. Focus on self-awareness of parents, less ego-driven, more collaborative. Well, this seems perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think everybody tries to be a little bit of this.
Yeah. Maybe we are trying to be conscious.
Self-awareness is still pretty new among Indian parents, I would say, even today. They don't really talk about their own stuff a lot. They tell their stories and all that, but then they don't encourage their kids to feel the way they do. Like they'll probably stop them from feeling a certain way because they think it's wrong or something, like, oh my God, you're not supposed to be angry at this. You're not supposed to be frustrated at this. You're not supposed to like someone in other than friendly way or whatever it may be. They kind of block children from having that self-awareness about their own feelings and emotions and their situation.
Yeah. The focus is only on what is right and what is wrong. You can do this and you cannot do this. But parents hardly go into the depth of why you can't do this and what happens if you do this or try this.
That kind of chips away from their humanity. You're not allowed to be human. You're just supposed to be this good girl or good boy thing. And Less ego driven, that's also a very important thing to do. I think especially with fathers back in the day.
Yeah.
Like there was a lot of male ego that was
Yeah.
present.
You did this and you have to tell me sorry right now or you will.
Yeah.
I mean, how could you talk back to your dad?
And parents would never ever admit to those mistakes if they did any mistakes, because that will kind of hurt their ego and that will make them look less of something.
Yeah, they always want to look like perfect people, perfect adults
Yeah.
who have everything under control. They cannot show their drawbacks or their bad times, or they just just hide everything from their children.
Yeah, it's like my kids have to live up to what I'm putting in front of them, not what I actually am, but what I show them about myself.
So this is the opposite of conscious parenting.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I think conscious parenting is the goal for everyone.
Right.
Focusing on self-awareness, less ego-driven, more collaborative. And yeah, this is also a very important aspect, being collaborative as a family.
Oh, yeah.
Like a family should be a team. Everybody should contribute and work in the house, and regardless of gender.
And take
age,
decisions,
everything.
I think, together, like discuss and take decisions together.
They're too young, then at least give the impression that you're including them
Yeah,
in something
yeah,
important in the family. Teamwork in family is one of the most important things. I think we can all try to be conscious parents. That's the end goal. In all these kinds of parenting, we can learn like a little bit of this, like what to avoid, what to take, and be conscious about how we are parenting.
Yeah, what kind of parenting do you want to do?
I'm thinking, well, I really doubt if I can be like that entire gentle parent. So I would say, baby, I do like the idea of attachment and positive parenting, maybe. I don't know. I'm not sure though. What about you?
Yeah, as you said, same with me. I don't think it's practically possible to be a complete gentle parent, for at least for me. I can't. So maybe I want to try being a conscious, positive parent with a bit of free ranging my child a bit.
Are you not going to do a little bit of tiger?
Yeah, maybe a little bit of tiger is necessary sometimes. Yeah.
A little bit of everything is necessary at some point in life, you would see. I really hope we could resonate with you, because every feeling is valid in motherhood. If you enjoyed this episode, please follow us for more such content.